What's up everyone, it's me SpeedSuperSonic bringing you guys another video, and in this video today we are back again to talk more about the future of Sonic the Hedgehog. In particular, a very interesting topic that we haven't talked about in actually a while, mainly because we've been getting stuff like Sonic Frontiers, a brand new game, also we had Sonic Origins confirmed, and Sonic Colors Ultimate released a little while ago at this point, all the way back in 2021, but let's think about the time before we got Sonic Colors Ultimate. There were no Sonic games, we were wondering where are the games, where's anything. Sega was super quiet, we just simply weren't getting stuff, and a big topic of conversation in the fan base and a lot of rumors and leaks that were coming out was simply remasterings and remakes, etc. of Sonic games, older Sonic games on the modern hardware. Eventually, we actually got that in the form of Sonic Colors Ultimate. We've also got Sonic Origins Sense, which is really more of a port rather than a remaster with some new features added in, etc. And plus, Origins was older Sonic games. It was the classic trilogy, it was CD. Games that have been ported and remastered, if you will, multiple times throughout Sonic's 30+ year history. What a lot of Sonic fans want to see are remasters of modern Sonic games, adventure titles, Dark Age titles, meta era at this point titles. Some of them. A lot of them are kind of inaccessible now, hard to play. We'd like to see updated modern versions of them, maybe being ported onto modern hardware and being given the proper treatment like a Sonic Colors Ultimate probably should have received better of, could really benefit that game. And well, the conversation has started back up again, because recently Sonic Colors Ultimate has just been put on Steam. If you guys didn't know and you guys have been waiting for this and didn't know until just now, well, good news. That's right, Sonic Colors Ultimate is now on Steam. I believe they had like a 2-year something exclusivity deal with the Epic Games Store to just have it on there for PC. Well, now it's on Steam as well, so feel free to pick it up and play it yourself. I own 3 copies, as you can see, because of course I do. And how I and many people found out was from a tweet from a person who works at Sega, Katie, who is the social media manager, I believe, of Sonic, where she simply says, "It's here, what are you hoping we release next?" And of course, this is not a confirmation of like, oh, there's a remaster coming in 2023, there's this coming in 2023, but I think it is safe to assume there will be another Sonic remaster very soon, and this year is a possibility. In a year following a massive year for the franchise with Sonic Frontiers Origins, you might not have something ready that is entirely new, meaning a 2D game, even a racing game, a party game, a sports game, etc. So an easy solution to get something out for the year 2023 would be a remaster. Just do Sonic Colors Ultimate again, just with a different game. And while there'd be a lot of skepticism because a lot of people didn't like Sonic Colors Ultimate, it is still something for us to look forward to, and especially if they pick the right game. That's the biggest part. There's a strong chance we could get a remaster this year, and while once again, this tweet is not explicitly saying that, I don't want to put words in her mouth saying that this hints towards a remaster, simply asking the question of what Sonic game would you like to see released next as a remaster or whatever. There's been a lot of interesting conversation, and I wanted to talk about the top candidates that we could see as a remaster for Sonic the Hedgehog this year. Let's start off with the obvious ones, and this is one that has actually been rumored, but I never really bought into it or made a video on it. In Sonic Frontiers, there are of course those like funny flashback sequences, like screenshots of cutscenes and stuff like that from past Sonic games, and a few of them are from Sonic Adventure, and they seem to be very highly upscaled compared to their counterparts on other hardware. This led a lot of people to believing that these are screenshots from a potential remastered version of Sonic Adventure that could be on the way at any point now. So you heard me right, remaster, not remake, which is something that we've been wanting, and that's like been the biggest conversation before we even knew about a Sonic Frontiers, before we knew about a Sonic Colors Ultimate even. That was the conversation, Sonic Adventure remakes. That's something that was actually in the works years ago, but was eventually scrapped, I believe, like after the Sonic Boom era, or like midway through it. I think a nice solid port of Sonic Adventure onto some newer consoles would be cool if they take the Sonic Colors Ultimate route. Here's the thing, the Sonic Adventure, despite like people saying that it needs more representation, has been ported a lot. It was put onto Xbox 360 and PS3, which has since carried on to all of the next consoles that have come after it. It is very accessible, it's very easy to play, you can go buy it on the store for a very good price, but also it's not available on Nintendo consoles. A lot of people who only own a Nintendo console would love to play it on there. Maybe people like some new features for it to look a little better, to maybe even play a little better, add some new content in there. It's a very, very beloved Sonic game. Both of them are. And regardless if they just do one or if they decide to do both, which would be awesome, it's a guaranteed cash cow. You don't really have to do too much with it. It's not like you're remaking it or doing a sequel to it, which would have so much pressure on you. You're simply doing what you did with Origins and what you're doing with Sonic Colors Ultimate. Now, once again, I don't think either Colors Ultimate or Origins really hit the way they intended to. Origins really just came and went without like anyone really talking about it. Once again, because it's games that have been ported a million times, not that many people cared. It also didn't receive a physical release, so it's not like Sega believed in it that much either. Now, Colors Ultimate, on the other hand, did have a lot of conversation around it, for all the wrong reasons. It's a whole mess with remasters lately, and I think they really got to get this one right. The name of the adventure games has kind of been slandered over recent years, and I think you really need to win people over who've just kind of soured on those by maybe tightening some things up, improving the visuals, adding some really cool content in there, that'd make replayability even more fun than a game that is already very replayable. That's a strong chance. There's a lot of adventure, like, nostalgia going on right now, so that would be really, really awesome. The next one is something that has been popping up recently, and I'm like, you know what? That would be great. And that is the conversation around Sonic Riders. Sonic Riders is, of course, the original, not really original, but, you know, like the modern original Sonic racing game before they decided to go with karts. I received 3 games in that series, and it unfortunately got like a little slightly worse as the series went on. But still, you managed to get 3 games out of that. They're toys, the characters still live on and form the Babylon Rogues and other media. And there's still a lot of fan love around it. There's a lot of nostalgia around it also. And I really love the original Sonic Riders a lot. I think that's an amazing game. It's so fun. I have personally a lot of nostalgia with it, and I'd like to see it given another shot by any means necessary. When people say we need a Sonic Riders 4, I actually shoot that down. I think they should just completely start over with the Sonic Riders series and just update it for modern hardware and just kind of do like a little bit of a reboot almost. I think Sumo Digital's kart racing games have become very stale, and there's only so much you can really do with it nowadays before just coming a Mario Kart clone. You gotta really think outside of the box, and that's what Sonic Riders did. Whether that's a full-on remaster or a remake/reboot of the series, which I would personally love for them to do. I think people are ready for more Sonic Riders, and I think Sega might be ready too. I think this is the least likely of all of these, but I would love to see a Sonic Riders remaster. That would be amazing. Now on to the 2 most likely choices that I think are just on the horizon. I'm of course talking about Sonic Unleashed Ultimate. Sonic Unleashed Ultimate is like the no-brainer, the go-to. This one needs a remaster. Sonic Unleashed, I would actually compare it to the adventure games in terms of the reception of it changing over time. It was very disliked in its original state by a lot of critics, and also fans didn't really like it that much. But as time has gone on and the hardware has slowly started to become stronger, it's now been able to actually power the game properly. It only took over 10 years, but we made it work. I think Unleashed needs a proper revitalization in the public eye. Recently, the game has been actually given its flowers. I think IGN put out a video that's like top 10 Sonic games, and Unleashed is in that. That's a massive improvement for where it was. I think rated like even worse or like slightly better than 06. The fan base loves Unleashed. It's like one of the most loved Sonic games now, and for good reason. It's great. It's really fun. The story's amazing. The visuals are outstanding. I think it's the best boost gameplay we've ever received. You could argue Generations, and you know what? I like the Werehog too. Sue me. Literally, the only thing that I think they'd have to change is like maybe lower the amount of medals that you have to get, because you literally have to search every nook and cranny as the Werehog in order to progress, which really kind of just like slows down your gameplay experience, the momentum of things. And like I said, the game is already visually amazing, but imagine a remaster for modern hardware. Oh my god. Once again, you can add in things like cosmetics, different abilities, different like things you can get in an item shop. I don't know, there are a bunch of things you can add to it that make the game even more fun. Simply making the game accessible again would be great. I don't think the Werehog is super polarizing anymore, or at all. I actually think it's a really cool selling point that would get a lot of kids into the franchise and to like buy the game. The character is merchandisable. You can do a bunch of stuff with Sonic Unleashed with the Werehog. I know there's some people who aren't like completely for an Unleashed Ultimate or an Unleashed Remaster or whatever you want to call it, but I'm completely here for it, and I think it deserves it. A complete relaunch, a celebration of that game, what it represented. It'd be a harder undertaking, I believe, than a Sonic Colors, but I still think there's a solid shot, and I really hope we get it. And for the final one, it's kind of the boring one, but also something I could very well see, and that is Sonic Generations Ultimate. Yeah, that's right. They're not gonna spend too much time on this one because it's like, this is probably gonna happen at some point. Sonic Generations is one of the most loved Sonic games ever. No one dislikes it. The game's amazing. I don't know what else to say. But something that Sonic Generations never got was a release on Nintendo. Put this on Switch, it would run great on there, I think. There's like 2 console generations separating it. I hope that it'd be able to run on there. You'd be able to tap into the Nintendo market, you'd be able to get it back out on Xbox and PlayStation and get it to run even better and look even better. Once again, I'm not suggesting that I add in like new levels or anything like that, just simply remaster it, make it even better than it is, and make it more accessible to modern audiences. Put it back on store shelves. I know the mentality around something like Sonic Origins is like, oh, people don't go outside anymore, just make it digital only. And it's like, no, that's one of the biggest things that hurt Sonic Origins, is not having a physical release. Having the games on the store shelves is so important. Having promo displays, having all of that is so good for the brand, so good for the franchise. And I think there's no better game to really choose, or a safer bet, I should rather say, than Sonic Generations. It just makes a whole lot of sense. It's a game after Colors. You already released Colors Ultimate. It'd make a whole lot of sense. We'll see what they choose to do, but these are my top 4 picks for games that could be remastered at any point in the future. But more specifically with Adventure and Riders, games that could also receive remakes. I think this is a very interesting conversation, and there is a Nintendo Direct going on tomorrow. I'm going to be streaming it so we can see if there is any Sonic there or not. But I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled throughout the year, because there is a shot we could get a remaster at some point, if not this year, in the near future. But this is where I pass it off to you guys. What do you think? Do you think that we're getting a Sonic remaster at any point this year? And if so, what game do you want to see the most out of all of the ones I mentioned, or a game I didn't even mention? Do you want a Sonic Lost World Ultimate? Let me know. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Feel free to follow my social media links, my Twitter and Instagram, where you can follow those for behind the scenes look at my life, feature content, and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. This is the #1 destination on YouTube for all things Sonic. Whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comics, merchandise, and more, we talk about it all. I don't know, I have like a feeling inside of like my body that we're about to start getting some stuff, some info very soon, and I'm really excited for it. We're already now into month 2 of the year, so things are gonna start getting exciting. I'm so excited to go on the journey for the rest of this year with you guys. I love you all so much, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
To get to you.